This is only the second guitar tutorial I've ever done. I had a couple of requests to do another Rocket to the Moon song. This is On a Lonely Night, so let me show you how it's done. I think what most people want to know is just kind of that intro picking pattern. But we'll do the intro, the verse, the chorus, and the bridge, 4 parts to it, okay? So here's what we're gonna do. A couple of logistics, guitars in standard tuning. And if you want it to sound like the recording, you're going to put the capo on the 3rd fret. Okay, that's where you'll get that that signature. Okay, I don't sing the song. I don't perform it. If I did, I would put it down here on the 2nd, simply because the chorus up on the On a Lonely Night, that falsetto is a little high for me. I would sing it down here. That's just me personally. On a lonely night, you will see you're everything to me. That's what I would do. So I'm going to play it in reference to the second fret here. Okay, first thing you want to know is that the first position is a split between one finger on the 3rd fret, one on the 5th. Again, everything's in reference to the capo. You're going to have your index finger on that B string, 2nd from the bottom, and I like to use a ring finger on the D. So you got D and B. Okay, you're going to pluck these 3 strings in the middle, the D, G, B, G, all the way straight down, and then come back to that G. D, G, B, G. Okay, D, G, B, G. The next progression is simply to go from the D string on the 3rd fret to the D string on the D string on the 5th fret to the D string on the 4th fret. You can either slide that ring finger down. I like to just drop it off and grab it with my middle finger. Same strings, D, G, B, G, okay? The next part's a little tricky because you have to take your fingers off of 3 and 4 here and come down to 2 and 3, okay? A little different configuration. We're gonna have the index finger on the D string, and then I like to put you can either put the pinky or the ring finger on the B string, right? Same thing though, D, G, B, G. The next progression is to take index off completely. So all you have is that B string on the 3rd fret, okay? Same ones, D, G, B, G. All up to this point, that's all been the same, all right? D, G, I'm sorry. D, G, B, G, D, G, B, G, D, G, B, G, D, G, B, G, right? Now, next 2, you're gonna go straight to a C chord. I'm assuming you know the fingering for a C, standard C. We're gonna, instead of going D, G, B, G, we have to jump up and grab that A, since the A string is the root note of the C chord. So we're gonna go A, G, B, G, A, G, B, G, but then it jumps up and grabs high E. We're gonna go 6, 5, 4, 5. Okay, so we've just gone A, G, B, G. Now we're gonna grab 6, 5, 4, 5. Okay, and then we're gonna go to a standard D chord, except we're gonna drop that high E on that middle finger, the 2nd fret. So we just have a kind of a suspended D. Same thing, D, G, B, G. Jump up and grab 6, 5, 4, 5. Okay? So it kind of looks like this. 6, 5, 4, 5, D. 6, 5, 4, 5, okay? Then you repeat it, same thing. You go through again, okay? Second time on the D, D, G, B, G, and then let the chord just ring out, okay? Because what they actually do is they kind of go, give 3 knocks or leading into the next part of the verse. So if we try to sing it and play it, which is always the struggle, right? So it goes, I was 16, met you out in Ohio, right? We'll go real slow. D, G, B, G. I was 16, met you out in Ohio. 6, 5, 4, 5, D. 6, 5, 4, 5. Repeats again, okay? You were only 15, living excuse me, life by the mile. Remember, 6-second time. Then we go into We Laid Under the Stars, and we have a normal progression from here on out. That's the hard part. The rest is fairly simplistic strumming pattern. We've got a G. I'll show you what they are and kind of show you the pattern in a minute. So we've got a G, D sus, and one thing I'd like you to make it easier, I like to play the G with this 4-string configuration. I know normally the G is this with the high E and the low E on in that 3rd fret. But if you grab the B and have a 4-string configuration, the reason we do that is it makes the transitions nice and easy, because you can essentially lock those two in, the B and the E, lock them in, they don't have to move. You can play G, go to D sus, which is just a D chord. The difference is that's a normal D chord. If we grab that high E, we get a sus to it. We're going to play E minor. I know what you're thinking, why keep those there, because E minor is just those two, but it gives it that little kind of suspended ringing sound. Back to a D sus. There's a C add 9. C add 9 is a fun chord. If you play the G of this 4-string configuration, you've got the index finger 2nd fret on the A, middle finger on the low E on the 3rd fret. If you just drop them both down a string, so that now the index finger is on the D string of the 2nd fret and the middle finger is on the A string of the 3rd, that's a C add 9. Okay, it's a nice transition. A lot of songs have that kind of G to C thing. Very common type of a thing. So let's go through this really slow, the first part of the verse, or I should say the second part of the verse after the picking pattern. We laid under the stars. It's G on we, laid under, D sus, the stars, E minor, fell asleep, D sus, in your backyard. Backyard gets 2 chords. It gets a C add 9 and a D sus. Okay? And then it says, you said you could fly. It continues on G, but you never need to, D sus. Because with us, C add 9, you never have to try too hard. Excuse me, D sus. And then that last part of the verse, and you never will, you just let D sus ring out. You don't have a chord with it. And you never will, and it goes right into the chorus. Now, so if we kind of slow that down. We laid under the stars, fell asleep in your backyard. You said you could fly, G, but you never need to, D sus. 'Cause with us, C add 9, you never try too hard, D sus. And you never will. And then it goes into the chorus, okay? Now the chorus, the chord progression is a little different. You start off with a C add 9, and then go to a G, E minor, D sus, E minor, C add 9, D sus, okay? So it's, on a lonely night, you will see you're everything to me. Easy, okay? Then it continues on. On a lonely night, oh, the truth is E minor, oh, the truth is D sus. And then for the next little bit, I like to do 1 strum on each chord. E minor, every night, D sus, is lonely, C add 9, without you, D sus. Repeats, every night, E minor, D sus on night, is lonely, C add 9, without you, D sus, back to G. Okay, so it'd be something like, on a lonely night, you will see you're everything to me. On a lonely night, oh, the truth is every night is lonely without you. Every night is lonely without you here. Now, to get from the chorus back to the second verse, you just play through that same progression of G, D sus, E minor, D sus, C add 9, D sus. Okay, that brings us to verse 2. Same thing. We are older now. The only difference is the first part of it we're not picking. We're strumming. We only picked that first verse. the first half of the first verse, I should say. So the same strumming pattern. It's kind of a down, down, up, 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 down, down, up. Okay. We are older now. You came back to Ohio. Right, that's G. We are older, D sus, now, E minor. You came back, D sus, to Ohio, C add 9 to D sus. Okay, you know the rest of the verse. Goes into the chorus, repeats the chorus. You know the chorus. That brings us to the last part, which is the bridge. Now the bridge has one new chord we haven't played thus far. A minor, nice and easy. A minor to D on It's Been Forever. It's been forever, but lately it's been hard. So that nice progression. It's a G walk down, G, D, E minor. If we were picking it, it would sound something like, right? Something very similar to that, but we're strumming. So that's the same pattern. A minor, D, G, D, E minor. Does that twice on the, we'll go slow. It's been forever, D, but lately, G, it's D, been hard, E minor. Like when we took A minor, your parents' car, D, and drove forever, G, in D, the dark, E minor. The last half of the bridge is a little different. It goes from C. I'd give it all away if I could, D, see you once again, and have a summer love. Summer love gets a progression, G, C add 9, D sus. And then it says growing close and never grow old. Growing, C, close, E minor, D on never, grow old, and then it goes into the chorus one last time. So the bridge is something like this. It's been forever, but lately it's been hard. Like when we took your parents' car and drove forever in the dark. I'd give it all away if I could see you once again and have a summer love. Growing close and never grow old. Then it just goes into that chorus one last time. On a lonely night, you will see you're everything to me. On a lonely night, oh, the truth is every night is lonely without you. Every night is lonely without you here. You probably play through a progression of the D, the G, D sus, E minor, D sus, C add 9, D sus, and then end on a G. All right. So that's how it is. Let me know how you do with that. Good luck.